What's up, YouTube? Tyler Severance is in my house. We're hanging out.
Brews and Brews.
What's up, Tyler?
What's up,
How you
Thomas?
doing, bro?
Cheers. Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So, I thought it would be fun because Tyler's in town for East Coast Masters to sit down, have a beer, and interview him. So, Tyler, you're like a legend.
I don't use those strong of words.
It
to
was my
describe
word.
myself. But
That was
okay,
my word.
Yeah, if you say it, then it's okay. I don't ever refer to myself as legend, or I barely tell people I'm a world yo-yo champion.
But you know what? I was gonna mention that, but now that it's good.
Yeah.
What? So that yes, world champion, legend.
Since we're on the block, three-time national champion.
Three-time national champion, monster yo-yo player, and a hell of a nice guy. I'm sure a lot of you have had the chance to interact with Tyler, so you probably know, but for those of you that don't know, Tyler is super nice.
I'll take credit for the nice guy part.
He is. He's a nice guy.
Something I'll brag about.
Yeah, super nice guy. Great guy to deal with. Great guy to work with. Anyway, so we're going to talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so I'm bringing Tyler's brand down right now by just like I'm bringing your personal brand down.
No, not at all.
You're on my channel, so now I'm bringing
I need
your
to
personal
get better at being more bubbly like this. Anytime I talk about yo-yos, it's always just like so serious and like, yeah. So I'm excited to have some fun and actually talk about fun yo-yo stuff.
You're a serious yo-yo guy. Well, okay, so rapid fire. What's in your pockets right now?
My phone and my wallet. Yeah, I've
That's
never
it.
done
You don't have like a knife or
pockets.
anything.
No.
Okay.
I'm a sorry excuse for an American male.
That's okay. How do you cut your yo-yo strings?
I don't normally.
There
Normally
we
I have
go.
to stretch them out. Like that's the first thing I do. I'll put them on the yo-yo and then I immediately like pull it as hard as I can, and then it thins the string out. That like sets your tension straight, and then you're pretty much good to go.
I should probably do that because my tension sucks all the time.
And it just also your string is so much variance when you go to throw it. Like when you start versus like when your string is dead, there's like 4 inches added on. So it's like I just nip that in the bud and
just
stretch it out.
Just stretch it out.
Stretch it out.
So okay, well now see I've learned something. There we go. Stretch your strings out. Tyler Severance says to do it. He's a legend. My word, not his. My words, not his.
When yo-yo forums used to be more popular, people used to troll new players all the time. Like I remember when I first started really paying attention to yo-yo forums, there was people would ask like how to clean bearings because it was like right when unresponsive yo-yo play started to come in, and people were like, "Oh, you clean them with ketchup," and then a lot of people like legitimately believed that, or they were like, "Well, I guess it's like kind of salty, like." Maybe it could like eat the lube out. I don't like. They would try to justify it in so many ways, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like you guys are crazy. Like, what is this?
That clearly is not gonna work.
Yeah. I'm so glad that everyone in yo-yoing is nice now and tries to help each other
Instead of clean them with ketchup. Yeah, that's the way.
Just put ketchup all over everything.
That's the second tip. Clean your bearings with ketchup, not acetone, like I've been telling you. Ketchup. But so other rapid fire questions.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
doing a terrible job rapid fire.
No.
It's me. It's me. I'm losing control. I'm
losing control. Hands on the wheel, Tom.
Hands on the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. No. Favorite yo-yo?
Oh, that's a difficult one. If I had to like pick one, like
you have to pick one.
Desert Island yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, this is really hard.
Because I'm going to negate this whenever you say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to go with first base. I would want to say, like, freehand zero, but then, like, eventually you're going to get sick of that. Like, I would say no drive, but, like, that's going to break down eventually. I'm trying to logistically think about a true desert island scenario here. I'm going to go with first base. Like,
First base.
9 days out of 10, I'm throwing that.
First base.
Regularly.
Okay.
Like, when I won the World Yo-Yo Contest, I used a freehand zero, so, like, first base is like heavily inspired by that and just like mid-school yo-yo, but with an upgraded and
that's really awesome.
Modern shape and weight distribution. Yeah,
I feel like that's information we didn't have.
Yeah,
this is why I get to talk to Tyler.
I was huge.
Bring you the info.
I was huge into the not first base. I was huge into the freehand zero. Like at the pinnacle, when everyone first gets into yo-yoing, you just amass like a huge collection of yo-yos, and like I didn't have a ton of money, and yeah, once the case was I keep calling the first base. Freehands were $20, and like if you bought 10 of them, you get like all these different color caps of them and stuff too. And like every contest if you went to, you'd win a handful of them, and like people were always trying to trade them. So it was like a little bit ironic because when I started yo-yoing, nobody wanted a freehand zero, and then like fast forward 2 years later when I was world yo-yo champion, and like we kind of brought the freehand zero back from like in Delaware, John Rob and I, and like a bunch of people were using it, and like it wasn't like blown up. It's not how like yo-yos are now, where it's like, oh, this one Ultimate Yo-Yo came out, but at the time the Freehand Zero was just super popular, and then like I don't know how I was like so in tune with like the yo-yo market when I was 16, but I was like, man, metal yo-yos are coming in. No one's gonna want these in like a year. I better sell all my Freehand Zeros. I literally sold like 120 or 130 Freehand Zeros.
That is so many.
To like 4 or 5 collectors. Yeah, I was like,
still so many.
Yeah, it's a lot of yo-yos. Yeah.
You were with Yo-Yo Factory for a long time.
Yes.
Some would say during the build-up of Yo-Yo Factory, you had a lot of influence there. A lot of my favorite Yo-Yo Factories you had a lot of influence on.
Okay.
We talked about this earlier. I told you earlier.
Right.
You said, no, but it's true. And that's just my opinion. You can take it. You can take it for what it's worth. It's always my opinion on this shit. I tell people all that. It's my opinion. Whatever I say doesn't matter. So you were
It's my blog, so I can say whatever.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want. It's my channel. I could berate you for 10. I would, but it would be fine. But so you were with Yo-Yo Factory for a good long time. You had a lot of influence there. You did a lot of stuff. You're still on the papers. If you buy a new Yo-Yo Factory, like say I was to buy I just bought a North Star finger spin. Like it wasn't terribly recently, but a little while ago, and I opened it. I'm like, oh hey Tyler, you're still on the papers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's you and Ann Connolly, and still with them. But you know, you're clearly you're your own man now. But
that's sweet. I didn't know that I was still on that.
You're teaching the kids how to do like a trapeze or something. That's the way it is.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome though. I mean, like, those are the type of resources that like I really wanted to help them build, and like now that I'm trying to build my own brand, so it's like, I don't know. It's funny because I'm sure people will watch the vlog and be like, oh, that's kind of weird that they would keep it on there, but it's like, no, like it's great that they're using someone to teach someone, and like it's a great example to use forever, you know what I mean? It's not like a proprietary trick that happened one time ever and they're like, okay, like we're still bankrolling this somehow. It's like, no, I'm just on an instruction sheet.
No,
like, it's fine.
I think it's literally it's a sleeper or a
Yeah.
trapeze. It's nothing like insane,
That's cool, yeah.
but it's very like, and if nobody knew, like everybody's gonna go and look like, oh wait, is that really him? Like, because it's if you don't know,
I have like a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah,
because
like,
my hair is kind of
because like if you don't know, and then you look, you're like, holy crap, that is Tyler. But that's who it is, and here he is. But but he's the same. He's the same.
I and I am.
Yes, exactly. But so you were with them for a long time, and clearly it was very good. You had a very good long run with Yo-Yo Factory, and you know, then you broke off, and in 2015 started this cool thing called Recess.
Recess, yeah.
And there's Kai back there. It's basically you have all of the best yo-yo players.
Some of the best.
Like most of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
I think they're the best, but if you ask anyone that ask Chris from Caribou Lodge or Ben, they're all gonna think they're the best. So that's why, you
guys win all the contests.
A lot of them, but I don't know. It's funny because like when John Rob and I started yo-yoing, everyone used to be like really offended by like how brashly confident John Rob was. Like, I want to be the best, and they're like, no one gets into yo-yoing to do that. And it's like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you want to be the best? Like, you're kind of wasting time if you don't want to be the best and you're competing. Like, so I don't know. Yeah,
everybody should try to be the best at something.
Everyone should try to be the best at what they do. Yeah.
This is gonna be the best yo-yo channel eventually. I'm way down the list, but eventually.
You're really not. You're really not.
But I just don't have that much competition.
Yeah, okay, good point. I'm glad that you're an adult and you understand the big fish in a small pond scenario.
I'm not even a big fish. I'm like a regular fish in a pond.
I love when like 16 and 17-year-old yo-yo kids start to gain like a little bit of notoriety, and then it's like they go off the deep end, and it's like you literally play with a toy, dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like somebody said to me the other day, it was like, so how's it feel to be a pillar of the yo-yo community? I was like, who said that? And why would they say that?
They should never give me a license to do
Don't say that! I'm not that! People are going to ask me for things and think that that's a responsibility. But you're actually a pillar, so...
Yeah.
Let's get back into Recess. And so you have a great team. You come out with really good yo-yo.
Thank you.
Anytime anybody actually says, hey, I'm looking to get into yo-yoing, what do I get? Immediately I'm like, you need to get a Recess first base.
Thank you, man. That's the goal. Like, I try to create something that can grow with a player, and like you can start out on as comfortable. And I mean, I still play with mine responsive a lot just because it's fun.
I've had 3. I've given 2 away. because I
and
feel
it's like a great yo-yo that's like the perfect price point that you can give away. Like, you don't feel terrible about giving away $20.
Exactly. I feel like that was sort of, so I've given 2 away, and you're good. You're drinking beers, man. That's what it's about. So I've given 2 away. I still have one. I have one with the middle finger one. I figured I'd keep that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, I play it all the time. I can't tell you how many times I'm just like, I'm just gonna take this. And I play it everywhere. I played it at the mall. I got kids, and we go everywhere with it. And I feel like you guys really kind of brought that to the forefront with like, we're gonna make this the perfect beginner yo-yo. Are you gonna win worlds with this? Maybe if you try hard enough, but it's a good yo-yo.
Yeah,
you're gonna have fun with it.
Like, as far as like doing all the different editions we've done and really trying to encapsulate more of like our brand aesthetic and like having fun and like create like involving the whole team with something, because like a lot of times like pro models are so focused on one player, and then that company just has like a cycle with one player, and then they focus so hard on that player, like other players feel some type of way about it, or even just the general yo-yo public is like not confused, but they don't see them promoting other players, and then they just fall to the wayside, and not every yo-yo player is promoting themselves. So it's cool to like release a whole package of yo-yos that not only like fits the company's personality, but like fits players' personalities, and like we can do fun stuff with art wise, and like it's just a really cool like overall package, which like I think always helps with every company, but like especially has helped with Recess. Like,
and it's fun.
It is,
and that's part of the. It's not only fun; it plays well. Like, I don't feel bad telling somebody, "Oh, you should get a Recess first base." And then if they say something to the tune of like, well, what about when I want to get a better yo-yo? I'm like, I still play with my first base.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get more expensive yo-yos and they have more stuff. And, you know, you guys clearly have more expensive yo-yos. We'll get into that in a sec. But, you know, there's just sort of this like sort of timeless fun. And you keep coming out with new colorways and new stuff with different players. And, and it's just like, you know, I'm sure when the next run comes out, I'm going to be like, oh, I like that one a lot. I'm going to get one of those. And maybe I'll give that one away. Maybe I'll keep it for myself. I don't know. But, I feel like you guys really are the only other company besides, like, Yo-Yo Factory did a good job with the replay. But I feel like you guys are the only other company that were like, okay, well, we're going to really do the sort of the beginner yo-yo, but it's going to be a little bit better than that. It's going to be a little bit smoother than that. And we're still going to hit that $20, which is like, I mean, to be like a yo-yo player and be like, okay, it only costs $20 to get into yo-yo, and that's it. It's like, and I say this all the time, like, yo-yo's not that expensive if you don't want it to be.
Right, yeah.
So, clearly I suck at that, but,
significantly, more affordable than, like, a lot of other houses.
Yeah, like, to golf, like, if I was a golfer, I would have already spent way more money.
It's the easiest way to sell a yo-yo to a parent, especially when they're like, I hate when people who obviously have money come into a store, and then they're like, $20 for a yo-yo? And I'm like, oh, like, did your kid play any sports? And they're like, yeah, he played Little League for a year. And I'm like, how much was his bat and glove? And then the Little League membership for the season is like
$300.
Yeah, for all of it.
It's like, you know how many yo-yos you could have for $300?
2 games in, and then they're like, oh, okay. And yo-yos last forever.
Yeah. So let's talk about the higher end stuff, because I feel like you guys have really done kind of the best job, I think, of both having sort of the beginner aspect of it, both with the first base and the Joyride, which is basically it's the metal upgrade version of the first base.
Right, yeah, it's based off. If you didn't know that, if you look at a Joyride side by side.
They watch my channel. They saw me.
Yeah,
They saw me go. It's the same, see? But it's you guys, you did that, and that's the very budget friendly version, which is great because there's a lot of kids that play yo-yo, and we want kids to play yo-yo.
And it's also fun, like the first bases. It's not super competition focused, and like I feel like that.
But it's got a finger spin cut.
It does, yeah. It doesn't scare people away. People love finger spins. It doesn't scare people away from yo-yos when they're competition driven, but it's like if it's more fun, I feel like it's more approachable. And then if you buy like the latest, hottest competition yo-yo, you're like, oh, this is cool, but it's like a tool. You know what I mean? Like you use it when you want to do a fast combo where you're like, oh, I really want to do a long grind or something. Most of the time you go for a fun yo-yo. You have the yo-yo you have the most fun with, and that's what we try to do.
I need to win this competition. So let's get into that too, because you guys do that very well too. So the Charm just came out, and you guys just put out more colors with it. And I reviewed Kai's Charm. Kai's in the back. You can't see him, but he's here. So I reviewed Kai's Charm. He just handed it to me the day he got, like whenever he got back. And when I played with it for a whole week. And then I reviewed it, and I said, what's really significant about this is that anybody that doesn't use a charm or a yo-yo that's very similar to this is actually putting themselves at a disadvantage because it's so easy to use.
Yeah.
Like I touch a zillion, I touch every yo-yo, all of them. I touch every yo-yo. If it exists, I probably have touched it, or I will touch it at some point. And I found like the biggest thing I found about the charm was like this is easy to use, and not easy to use, but this is like hitting tricks on this is very easy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was really the focus of it, and like
I feel like it's a good intro competition throw. Like it's a good way to. It's like super stable. It's wide. It's not the widest yo-yo, but it's not super narrow either. It's not. It's like a perfect in between of everything that will like ease you into that, and then you're like, oh, I want something that's wider for when I do horizontal tricks, and I need it more stable, or I want something that's heavier so it spins longer. Whatever, so it's like
perfect. So that was just. But hey, what do I know? I don't compete.
I think we make great happy medium yo-yos.
Yeah, well, it was. I was like, this thing is just freaking great.
Thanks,
so I'm just. But so you guys do, you don't do a ton of yo. I feel like that's sort of the cool thing about Recess is that like you're not putting out a yo-yo every week. So if I was like a collector of some sort of like if I needed to have like every yo-yo that Recess put out, which I think I have had all of them. But anyway,
yeah, like our mega fans, you're able to collect one of everything almost.
And it's not
you're
hard.
really a big collector. You collect one of every color.
You can
really.
Because it's not like you don't come out with one every week.
Yeah.
And I can't say that you've come out with one and I'm like, oh well, man, I don't like this one because they're all pretty good. And it's like even like my favorite one's still the Komodo. I don't know why it just kind of fits me the best, but I mean, you got everything that's come out is like, well, this is fun, and this is fun.
Yeah.
I like this yo-yo a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think I've ever been like, oh, this is crap. I don't want to talk about this yo-yo. Because they're all good. Like, even the ones that you sort of discontinued at this point, it's like, those were good too.
Yeah, I really like to let the product have a life and like really, soil its roots in the yo-yo community, because like if we're going to release another yo-yo very soon after the Charm, but like the Charm has been hyped up for the last year, so it's like it's been a long campaign to introduce it, and now people are really psyched on it, and they're in people's hands, and like it's gonna do its thing for a while, and like we have so much content built up with it right now. Like, we have literally like 10 more videos that are gonna drop with it. Like it's just gonna be a smattering of stuff. But then with this new yo-yo that's gonna be released, it's again like every one we try to design, it's not like we're not following like the trends of like typical yo-yo design. We're not like, oh, this shape is really hot, so we're going to do this. This material is really hot, so we're going to do this. Like, we want to do something that is going to stay with the brand for as long as possible, and, like, something we can make for years to come, because, like, we order more first bases now than we did when we first started the company, and it's, like, they still sell just as fast, and it's because it's had the longevity it has, and it's timeless, and people continue to want it. So, like, I think that's the most important part, and I think something people forget a lot in yo-yoing, and, like, it parallels not only with manufacturing and design, but like with the competition scene and tricks, is it's just like there's every flavor of the week you can get, but like if you make something that's timeless, like I have tricks that are 5 or 6 years old that people watch now and are like, oh my gosh, like when did you make that?
That was
amazing. I'm like, oh, it was 2010, and they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, because like when I made this trick up, I put a lot of effort into it and thought of it, versus like, oh, like, look at this really cool thing I just happened to come across, I'm going to put it on Instagram. It's like, I think about it, and it's like, I don't know, it's really nerdy and, like, theoretical, and but like, yo-yoing is an art form, and, like, everyone on Recess thinks of it that way. Like, no one on Recess is just yo-yoing because it's, like, a cool thing, or, like, oh, like, I'm a big fish in a small pond, like we talked about
I can assure
earlier.
you it's not a cool
Yeah.
Well,
to a lot of people it is. Like, they get
it is cool, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's not cool, but they get, like, an ego stroke off of, like, oh, all these prepubescent boys all over the world think I'm a cool guy, and it's like the equivalent of your grandma liking your status. Like, you are no one in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
like,
nobody.
I big up no one because they are good at playing with a toy.
Do you know what a handsome young man my mother thinks I am?
Exactly, right. So
you guys have built a brand that's, we see Recess like, oh, okay, I need to try that. And that's, I think, for me, that's the thing. When something new comes out from Recess, I'm like, oh, I want to try that. Like, that's like, I need to get my hands on that. And I need to get my hands on that soon. So,
we try to make it as available as possible, too.
That's wonderful as well. And I'm very lucky in that, like, when something becomes like, oh, Recess is putting out this new thing, I can go to SW Randall, and generally I can touch it before it's even like released.
Yeah, you can buy it from a regular.
I can just buy it.
Yeah,
and or you know,
get to go play with it and try it.
Exactly, and or I can just talk to I go to Yo-Yo Club and talk to Kai and John, and I'm like, I don't even have to ask half the time. It's just like, here you go, and I'm like, everybody needs to have this kind of service.
I think I did that to you today when I walked in.
You did, actually.
Snack, right? Like, try it out.
He was like, you were like, you want to try a new Yo-Yo? I was like, yes. Boop. And that's the other cool thing too that I wanted to mention is that you put out the Charm, but this next Yo-Yo that's coming out, and we're going to tease it, you don't even know what it is. You're not going to know. Because I'm not going to tell you. And Tyler probably won't tell. You do whatever you want. But it's your company. You do what you want. But it's so, like, it's not competition for they're different things.
Yeah.
Like, one is not competing with the other. You don't like say, well, instead of getting the Charm, I'm going to get this. I'm going to wait for this other Yo-Yo. Because they're not going to compete with each other.
Right,
they're very separate things. It's like very competition oriented versus very fun.
Yeah, everything is planned and calculated. It's not like that happens on accident.
This man is a genius. The one other thing that Recess does that I bring this up all the time and every time but the thing that I think is the most important thing that Recess does, because I remember this happening when I was a kid, is that you guys actually go and do school tours, and that's what Tyler's here for. He's not here to talk to me. He's here talking to me, but he's not here to talk to me.
Yeah, we're in town this week doing a school promotion tour for the East Coast Masters Yo-Yo contest happening this weekend.
So Tyler's here. He's gonna go hang out at grade schools and middle schools and teach kids how to play.
I'm gonna do Yo-Yo demonstrations. I'm not just rolling up and hanging out.
Right. Okay. So it's not creepy. It's really like he called first.
I prefaced this with the school. I have permission to be there. I have all my clearances and credentials.
Yeah. No, he's good. Like you can hang out with him.
Fingerprints in. We're good to go.
He's allowed to hang out with.
But like this week we're gonna be performing for over like 1,000 kids. So
that's insane.
It is, and I mean, it's not, if I were to like post a video online and it was really cool, like I could get 1,000 views with it tonight, but like that's not the same as
this video might get 1,000 views.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet. Me too. I agree.
But it's like it's not the same as seeing it in person. You know what I mean? Or it's not the same as being there, and like that's what gets people really stoked on it. And like I can't tell you how many kids that like online post, oh, like this guy came to my school. Most of the time it's like a net demonstrator or something. And a lot of people learn offline now. But most of the kids who get super psyched on it, and especially like the one Yo-Yo Factory promotion that they did with Hasbro was called the Fast Tour.
Yeah.
Where like they promoted the Fast 201 and they had like a countdown. Like you had like a trick race and you did these 10 tricks and whoever did them the quickest one, and like they were easy tricks. So you as like a kid, if you were at this town for a week for the team, you could learn these tricks in a week and by Friday like win the contest, and that like set you off for life. Like you're a Yo-Yo player forever at that point. You know
I won a contest.
Yeah, exactly. I won something, and especially like Yo-Yo kind of attracts kids who like don't really excel at a lot of other things that you can win at. You know what I mean? Like, just because you have great grades doesn't mean that like or you're super smart, like you're getting a trophy for that all the time. So
I was a bench sitter soccer player, so that's why I play Yo-Yo. But no, I mean I think I wish more companies did it, but I'm super glad that you guys do it. And I say it all the time that like I have so much respect for you guys just because of like the effort that like you clearly don't have to. But you do it because you love it and because you want Yo-Yo to grow. And you grow Yo-Yo just by your own sheer will of like going out and doing things, which to me is like the most noble thing in Yo-Yo that I've ever heard of.
Thanks. Like in the future we're definitely diversifying and like doing more internet stuff, like putting more tutorials online. Extra credit tutorials every Friday on the Recess YouTube channel.
Learn some tricks, people!
Every Friday from the Recess team.
So with the school tour, basically what you're doing is, I mean, you're kind of just growing the kids from the ground up. It's like, hey guys, did you know that you could do this with Yo-Yos? And a lot of those kids, you know, I mean, I live here in Pittsburgh, and we actually have a pretty good scene of like, you know.
It was a solid scene. We had 12 people or 13 people show up to Yo-Yo Club.
I know, that was...
And it's not just like, there was only one person there that was like a new player. Everyone else there like was pretty proficient. Like there were
I was legitimately the worst player at Yo-Yo Club today.
Which is crazy because you've been yo-yoing for like 2 years now.
Like 20. But hey, I've been able to yo-yo for 20 years. Yes, I've been trying for 2 years, like hard and trying to. But anyway, so to like kind of grow it from the ground up is like. I feel like it's such a novel concept to everybody else. Like, it's one of the, oh, well, that's what Duncan did back in the 50s and the 70s and the 90s or whatever. But now it's like, nobody does it. And you guys come out and do it, and I feel like it pays off in spades.
It does, yeah. Because parents see it, and players see it, and everyone, like, there's a face when you see Recess and hear about Recess. Like, you think about me at a school, or you think about, like, people learning how to yo-yo. There's, like, an overall positive connotation with it.
And look at this face. Isn't this a great face?
It's not just like, oh, these
better
guys...
than my face.
But we're not just making, like, really...
You know that was me?
I didn't. Oh, my God.
It's not really me, but it's kind of me.
My
beard was longer. That's kind of what it looked like.
We're not just making, like, a designer high-end toy. It's, like, an overall experience. And that's why I called it Recess, is because it's not just, like, blah, blah, blah yo-yos, or yo-yos, blah, 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 or any other company name that you can think of. It's, like, Recess, to me, is, like, how adults treat yo-yo. Like, everyone has a regular job and a career most of the time. So, like, the way they take a recess from regular life is playing yo-yo. And, I mean, just like you were saying earlier, like, it's a noble thing to do the school demonstrations and, like, run contests and try to be, I don't want to say, like, a pillar, but, like, a community figurehead. It's, like, when I was growing up, like, we didn't have those. Like, we had Steve Brown, and, like, we had people who ran yo-yo stores and that sort of thing, and they were, like, a little bit involved, but, like, none of those guys, like, when I first got into yo-yoing, Steve Brown had just quit Duncan, and there was, like, this huge falling out, and it was just, like, all this craziness, and, like, not that that's a big deal, or, like, not that, like,
not that it even mattered, but at this point, but yeah.
To Flambeau it did, but thankfully I don't get paid by that.
No, they don't care.
So they
don't watch either, so it's fine. We'll say what we want about Flambeau.
So, Steve now is an amazing community pillar. Like, he ran the World Yo-Yo Contest in 2016 and, like, does amazing things with yo-yo news. But, like, at the time, a lot of people weren't as involved in the community. So, like, when, like, Kai and John called their yo-yo contest East Coast Masters, and I was telling Thomas a couple weeks ago via Facebook chat, like, it's really funny because this year will be the 12th anniversary year, like, of the time that I threw my first yo-yo contest in 2006, and it's like, 2006 doesn't seem that long ago to me, but in the, you know, grand scheme of things, it's a long time ago. 12 years, that's half of my life almost. And, like, but at the time it was like, there was only a handful of yo-yo contests per year.
Just a kid.
There was only a couple of yo-yo contests per year, so we thought, like, oh, like, it's easy. Like, all I gotta do is, like, this venue that we already had yo-yo contests at, like, we can just have it there, and, like, all my friends can judge, and, like, I can call everyone up, and it's so awesome because, like, last night we were hanging out at Kai's house, and Kai and John are sitting there looking at their whiteboard, and they're like, did you call Chase Haddon yet and make sure he's coming? No? Okay, like, Facebook message him right now. Did you call this guy from Cleveland yet to make sure he's coming? No. And, like, I remember doing that at my contest, too, just making sure, like, all the homies are gonna be here, right? Like, everyone's gonna be here, and it's, like, just so much fun, and it's not just about, like, everyone gets so concerned now about, like, what yo-yo is this, and what color is it, and what, like, about what the yo-yo it is versus, like, what you do with it, and, like, that's what Recess is all about, is, like, more what you do with the yo-yo versus what the yo-yo is, whether it be, like, going on the tour, the tricks you do, like, performing for kids, running yo-yo clubs, like, that's all, it's, like, yo-yo's just a platform for that, you know what I mean? Like, that's the overall vision is to do way more than just yo-yo and, like, teach people how to yo-yo, so.
It's about community. Like us. We're community. Right? Anyway. So, Tyler, I gotta thank you for coming and hanging out.
Thank you so much for having
We're gonna
me.
Go eat because I'm real hungry, and I'm sure Tyler's
Yeah.
hungry. And there's guys in the back who are like probably ready to eat us.
We made Kai and John split a bowl of cold spaghetti.
We totally did make them split a bowl of cold spaghetti. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Come out to East Coast Masters.
East Coast Masters, March 16th, 17th?
17th.
March 17th, Saturday, all day. We'll be there. There's so many vendors. Thomas told me there's going to be 17 tables.
I think it's 14.
14 tables?
Sorry, 14.
No, that was my bad.
No, it's fine.
It's going to be
14.
100. But for really, though, yeah, come out. It's going to be amazing. Kai and Thomas and John have been working super hard on the contest. I'm super excited. It's going to be awesome.
To get to be there instead of work on it.
It's always great to see it all come to fruition.
Yes, I'm just going to have fun.
Together, yeah.
But that's going to do it for us. So come to East Coast Masters. We'll be there. And you can hang out with a legend.
I'll be on the microphone self-deprecating myself.
You
all
can listen
day,
to it.
but yeah, it'll be great. Your mom will hate me by the end of the day.
It's not true. Your mom is gonna.
Your
love
mom will
him.
love me. Yeah.
Your mom is gonna love him.
In a non-creepy. So I won't make a pass at your mom.
No, it's not. It's not creepy. It's cool.
Bye.
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 Cheers, guys.